What's the last thing you remember, Danny?
Hello everyone, this is Nate Rage, and I am here to defend New Mutants. Let's talk about it.
It's because you're a very uncommon girl.
And as a fan of the New Mutant comics, I quite liked it a lot. Now, most of the complaints I've seen about this movie is that there's nothing special about it, when it's literally horror and a superhero comic book movie put together. The only other movie like that that's going to be eventually coming out is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and that's going to be like another year or two. But this movie did it pretty well mixing the two genres together. And Josh Boone, the director, I think that's his name, was even inspired by A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, which is my favorite Freddy movie, and I think, at least to me, one of the best horror movies ever made, especially in the 80s. So, it's not much to hate on this movie. There's more good things about it than there are the bad. Like, one of the few things I think was just meh about it was the CGI is off sometimes, but that's expected nowadays, at least, with a lot of movies, especially some superhero ones. Justice League. But I digress. Hey, let's take a look at the characters.
Rain?
I was 13. I thought it was a dream. I just lost control.
Maisie Williams of Game of Thrones fame did an incredible job of bringing one of my favorite comic book characters from the New Mutant comics to life. Rain Sinclair, a.k.a. Wolfsbane. And she looked like right out of the comics. The crew did an amazing job making her look just right. One of my favorite things, of course, is her transformations using her mutant powers. And at one point, she is full-on dog, just like comics. And then another point, which is the best part, is when she's pretty much a werewolf in her half transformations. And that's where she's really badass. And it's great. I love it. She also plays the character really innocently. And they talk about her backstory, about how she was religious and forced kind of religion upon her and abused. And I won't get too much into it. I don't try not to spoil too much, but they did a great job with this character. They even have the LGBT parts of her being bisexual and having a growing relationship with Danny Moonstar, which they did a great job at too.
Sam?
I started panicking. People got hurt.
Charlie Heaton, much like Maisie Williams, is really popular for a certain TV show, which his is Stranger Things. And I'm hoping a lot of you have watched it, because Stranger Things is freaking amazing. But he plays Cannonball in New Mutants, and he does quite a good job. He keeps his Kentuckian accent on pretty well, and he really captures the whole drama of this character and all the stuff he's been through in his life. They really captured it well. And I really love how they really showed his powers. Like, his powers are just right out of the comics, and he looks really badass when he powers up and just goes, flies, and just destroys. It was awesome.
Roberto?
My girlfriend had burned her.
Now let's get into some of the controversy. Henry Zaga, who plays Sunspot, aka Roberto in New Mutants, apparently isn't dark-skinned enough, even though in the comics he's Brazilian, and the actor that plays him is Brazilian. It doesn't make any sense. He's pretty well represented. I mean, he's the way he's supposed to be. He can't help it if he's not darker. Maybe they should have told him to go tanning, I guess, before. He's the same ethnicity he's supposed to be that he is in the comics. Well, anyway, his powers are well represented. he's one of the ones that has the less okay CGI until later on in the movie where he actually goes into his full-on sunspot look where his skin goes completely black with like highlights of energy, which looked pretty awesome in the little part you get to see him in it. And he acts like the character does in the comics. He acts like a spoiled rich kid in the beginning, even though like they get into a lot of the drama and a lot of stuff he went through in his life, which you actually kind of end up feeling bad for him. And the character ends up having a really big heart, which was really awesome. And I loved his portrayal of Sunspot.
Ileana?
I killed 18 men, one by one.
Anna Taylor-Joy plays Ileana Rasputin, a.k.a. Magic. And she is one of the best characters in this film, and she really stole the show. Now, Magic also is known as Colossus's little sister. You know Colossus from X-Men 2 and, well, mostly the Deadpool films. And, well, he's great too, but I wish they had some reference to that in this movie, but they really didn't. They kind of mentioned the X-Men a little bit here and there, but that's about it. She did a really great job. And they actually reference her backstory, but like I said, they don't talk about Colossus, but they do mention Limbo, and they actually show Limbo. I don't like how they kind of says in her head, like it's an imaginary place, but then they show it, so obviously it wasn't. And they have Lockheed in this movie, which is usually a character, a little dragon, that mostly is Kitty Pryde, a.k.a. Shadowcats, one of the X-Men. It's one of her, like, a pet that she shares with Magic. But Magic mainly has Lockheed, but in this he's like a little puppet, but then turns into the real dragon somehow. I guess she got him for Limbo. Anyway, she was great in this movie, and I really hope we get to see more of those characters in the MCU or something, if it's popular enough.
Find out your power so we can help you get better.
Now, last but not least, let's talk about Blue Hunt, who plays Daniel Moonstar, a.k.a., well, in the comics they call her Mirage sometime. That's supposed to be her code name, which they do not mention at all in the New Mutants movie. In fact, most of the movie, they don't really understand what her mutant power is until much later on. And she has... The movie mainly is centered around her backstory about the really screwed up stuff that happens with her and her powers, and a semi-physical demonic manifestation called the Demon Bear, and that thing, it is just awesome in this movie. The special effects for it are just great. It looks just right out of the comic, and it's really creepy, and it tells me about her battle fighting the Demon Bear and her own fears, while she also makes everyone else's fears come to life. She's the real reason why this movie is kind of a horror movie. It's just great. She's really good in this movie, and they really brought her back. They really did her backstory well. Now, time for my final verdict. I think between all the delays, almost 3 years, all the internet jokes about New Mutants being old mutants when the movie finally comes out, well, honestly, the movie actually ended up being pretty well done, and it's a far better end to the Fox X-Men movies than Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse. Although I kind of wish this movie would be in the MCU, because a lot of these characters were really awesome in this movie, and they really deserve to be in MCU and add to the X-Men MCU universe. But I don't think that's going to happen, sadly, because this movie doesn't seem to be catching steam as much as I was hoping it would be. Also, it doesn't help that due to the well, I can't say, the big virus of this year, that not a lot of people are going to see not a lot of people are going to theaters right now. And just when I went to the theater to see it, and at AMC, when you get a seat, they automatically make 2 X's to social distancing, so the 2 people can't pick to the 2 seats next to you on either side. So no matter what, there's not going to be that many people be able to see it in the theater, even if they wanted to, because of that. But I think the movie's really good, and I give it 5 out of 5 cute little Lockheed dragons. Yep. Anyway, I think you should see the movie, and I hope you like this video. Please hit the sub button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Rage again with my own little after credits. Well, anyway, if you love this video, will you please do me and my little kitty Binks a huge favor and hit the sub button, and also hit the notification button, the little bell icon, if you will, because for some reason YouTube does not like telling anybody when new videos come out. For some reason YouTube doesn't really like creators as much anymore. Well, anyway, also, if you want to check out my Patreon, that would help me a lot too, and give whatever you want to. Any support really helps me a lot, especially during this pandemic we're going through. Well, anyway, thank you guys for all the support. See you guys later to the next video. Bye-bye.